Hi, in this video I want to actually discuss drugs and and this is what I think. Personally, I don't understand why people take drugs when behind it there are lots and lots of health scares. There's lots and lots of health problems that can happen. We hear so many stories, involving drugs and how it starts, how it takes over you, and how people are constantly in a cycle that they cannot see light at the end of that tunnel. But it can even ruin your looks, and I think is it snorting coke and things like that. It can actually lead to disfiguration of the face. I was always told one person, and this is what our mum told me, this was a long time ago, I was always told that one person could take drugs and be just okay. But I've heard stories of someone doing weed or coke or whatever for the first time and they've actually died. So this is a logic behind what Mum told me a long time ago. I mean, you don't know if you are going to be that person who doesn't come out of it again. But I find people who take drugs on a regular basis, it's not just doing it, it's stealing and dishonesty that comes with taking it in order to be able to support their addiction. But the thing is, even though people want to help them, you never know exactly really where you stand with that person, especially if they are misleading people or telling people one thing and other people the next. It's hard to help a person who takes it because you can help, you can advise, but if these people are bent on taking it, how as a person can you stop them? I don't think you can. I don't know, I think it's like me with Slimming World, because I'm trying to make a comparison here. If I want to lose weight, I'll go to a slimming club, or if these people want to come off, I think a part of them must want to at least. But it's old habits kicking again, and it's worrying. It really is. and especially people who take drugs aren't always in control, and people can become angry, abusive, even violent. I never knew much about drugs. With me, at when I was a teenager, I got more involved in the smoking of cigarettes, like hiding in bushes away from the school teachers and things like that. But I never handled or been actually offered drugs. When I was younger, and this was a long time ago, I must have been about 10, and I was living in my first house with my parents. Mum and Dad would roll reverse with me and my sister, and this is how they taught us to never take sweets off a stranger, and ever accept a car ride off someone we hadn't a clue who they were. These were all basic tools to keep ourselves safe. But it is only through things that people have told me, you know, that I actually know. It's what is it? It's like if a person has smoked weed, cannabis, it's that smell, that sweet smell. So you think, oh, I know what's happened here. But apart from things, you know, things that I've heard, I don't know nothing about drugs. However, I understand that celebrities get a hold of drugs, and with the money that they actually make, they are more than able to support their addiction. And I remember now, this was Hayden Panettiere being on an interview saying that it's really easy to get a hold of whatever drug that's there. And I think these were her words when she actually said that similar doors in her career were opened for her, and how she said that by having a strong family actually pulling her back, telling her how it is, to not be afraid to tell how it is, that's actually helped her. And if I think about that, because I have done before I made this, that has been exactly the same for me too. I mean, my parents, God, I love them, but they are really, really strict. And it's, you know, it's like they have always been there at different points, pulling me back, stopping me from making a fool out of myself. And and one evening, and this was in high school, I got a call. It was a house call, and my school friends wanted me to join them down a park. Now this was winter time and it was dark, and my mum and Nan, who was happened to be there at the time, they were like, in the park late at night, you know, like trying to make me think there's actually something a bit dodgy, you know, something a bit sordid going on, you know, that isn't not just innocent kids hanging out at a park. So I never did go, but I wanted to go. And if my parents, you know, went, yeah, that's fine, yeah, that's all right, I'd have gone. Or, you know, or if I thought I could get away with it, I would have gone. And I think parents help a child's development. Well, I say a child, a teenager's development too. I mean, parties, like actual parties, this is whether you're at university or at high school, they always happen, and this is where drinks get spiked, people having unprotected sex, you know, it's all sorts of things, like alcoholism, and of course there's, you know, the D word, drugs, and you haven't got a clue what's happening, and it's happening. It's like, how can I put this? When I was younger, as I have explained, things, you know, like things like not taking sweets off a stranger, not looking for a lost pet, things like that were role reversed. But what if you're at a party or at a university and people are going to it? Come on, you want to be in this gang? Come on, I dare you, I double dare you. Do it. And my parents didn't think of that. I think it is really difficult, and it's a test of your own strength not to do it. It's like an example I can think of when I was at school and I was in a maths class, and I literally had the whole class going, do it. Basically, what they wanted me to do was flick ink out of my pen at the maths teacher. Now, of course, it's naughty, it's wrong. There's no way I'd do it. But, you know, with the people, it's pressure. They amp up this, and there was me like trying to talk to the teacher, and you know, and all this business, and the people at the back are going, do it, and I think at the last minute I actually did that because the pen was in my hand and it went over the teacher. Not my proudest moment. I actually had to buy him a new jacket. Not good, and that's a consequence, you know, and it's like, so it's like things happening out of your control whilst you're under the influence of drugs. It looks cool when all your mates are doing it, or it's just not worth it. I mean, I'd like to feel like I'm in control and not half out of my head. But yeah, things happen. Things like, like fights. You can end up in prison, the police, things that kids don't even think about. Of course, it makes for a good story the next day at school, but was it really worth it? Was it really worth getting arrested? Or things escalate, things always do. And so my parents were extremely strict. I never went to parties. I never did. I mean, I really, would have loved to have gone, but I didn't. And I think it's because of that has kept me safe. I think because my mum is the sort of person who wants to know who I'm going out with, what time I'm gonna be home, with all these like sort of questions that never have I, well, especially when I was in my teenage years, never have I ever been able to pull a fast one over my mum, because it's like she has to know. And people who actually don't have such a strong family pulling them back, then I can easily see how people end up taking it and getting in trouble. It's kind of, it's not always the taking of drugs, it's the sort of things it makes people do that is a worry. I mean, even before it goes into an actual addiction, I think a part of you, before you even do it, knows this is wrong. This is something I should not be doing. I mean, we all have a conscience, and people who ignore that doesn't always end up well for them. So it is better to be able to try and listen to your gut, or to at least try and get away from people, or even don't associate yourself with these people. I never did. And I even remember a long time ago, I was at school, I was on the playing field, and all of a sudden, I don't know why, but I knew people were taken, and I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I was going through a bit of a rebellious period, and there was me like, okay, you actually going to give me some? And the people actually said, no way. I mean, these people knew me, and they knew exactly what I stood for. I mean, I was thinking about this last night in bed. When I was younger, I was like Sandy from Grease, very young, naive, got a fringe, long blonde hair, icy hair, and I was vulnerable to things happening and totally oblivious to things that would happen all around me. The first time I got to school, and I was 13 years old, I think I went to the toilet, and there were people in there older who were having cigarettes, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, come out, and that's all done with, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, I think it was when I was coming out, teachers came and they pulled everybody out, and everyone was gonna get a collar king or whatever else. And it was only because friends of mine were in the background and actually told the teachers, she doesn't smoke, she does not smoke. And that was how I never got in trouble at all. That was when I was 13 years old. And I was 15. I had a friend who smoked, and of course you want to look cool and all this business, and so I said, yeah, I smoke, yeah, of course I do, you know. But and that was how I managed to get myself addicted in the first place. But the point is, there is a lot of pressure on kids in one shape or form. I never did drugs, and I'm so glad, looking back at that one moment, nobody gave me any. And you know, it's like I have changed an awful lot over, you know, a life. I mean, I suppose it happens, but the point is, people who do drugs in the first place, they know it is wrong to begin with.